Under the cover of night, U.S. airstrikes tore through Iranian drone and missile depots in the Hormuz region. The immediate political fallout was fierce. Vice President J.D. Vance laid out the stakes, bluntly declaring that violence would be answered with violence. But while the physical retaliation was playing out in the Middle East, a very different kind of operation was being orchestrated here, at the Pentagon. Military officials knew about the successful strikes, but they didn't alert the public right away. Instead, they sat on the information, intentionally delaying the official announcement. The news finally hit the wires at exactly 4 p.m. on a Friday, and that specific timestamp turned a military operation into a highly calculated financial event. At 4 p.m. on a Friday, the stock market closes, trading volume flatlines, freezing retail investors out of their positions. For 48 hours, average citizens watch global panic build over a potential war, entirely powerless to adjust their portfolios. This delay has prompted calls for investigation. In the hours before the public announcement, while the general market is winding down, high-level investors with proximity to the administration are often observed positioning themselves in oil and defense stocks. We have seen this exact timeline play out repeatedly in U.S.-Iran relations. It is a recurring systemic pattern built right into the geopolitical calendar. By dropping military announcements at the close of trading, officials create a perfect financial trap. They guarantee maximum global volatility over the weekend, while intentionally locking the general public out of the market's initial reaction. The primary beneficiaries of this manufactured volatility are the big six U.S. banks: J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, Citi, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and Wells Fargo. Their profits have surged sharply alongside the conflict. Major financial institutions profit heavily during wartime because their top clients are in defense and energy. Look at the defense node. Contractors absorb billions in rapid government allocations. On the energy side, suppliers leverage sudden spikes in global oil prices to drive up margins. The military-industrial complex synchronizes with geopolitical timing to generate massive, highly predictable returns for these major financial institutions. In Tehran, the Iranian government operates with a very calculated financial objective. Their strategic counterplay relies on the fog of war. By escalating tensions, Iran asserts heightened authority over the most critical maritime shipping routes on Earth. This map highlights the Strait of Hormuz. By forcing vessels to navigate these heavily contested waters, Iran calculates it can extract up to $40 billion in tolls and passage fees. They take a deadly military hotspot and effectively turn it into a physical bottleneck. This specific conflict has now evolved far past a traditional geopolitical rivalry. It is now a self-sustaining economic engine, where both rival governments extract immense financial leverage from the very standoff they perpetuate. Then the timeline advances to Monday morning. The market bell finally rings, instantly absorbing 48 hours of built-up panic and global anxiety. That opening bell creates a stark divide. Elite insiders who moved their money early cash out their profits, while retail investors are left to navigate the wreckage of a volatile market crash. The real-world costs of this systemic manipulation fall entirely on ordinary citizens in both America and Iran, who are forced to absorb surging inflation and skyrocketing fuel prices. And underneath the financial maneuvering lies the darkest cost of all: the actual human lives lost in the violence used to trigger these market fluctuations. The consistent use of the Friday at 4 p.m. window shows that modern geopolitical events are now functioning as timed financial triggers, concentrating wealth among those who control the clock.